Paint, Mine, Flash, J-Doll, Easy Play, Anytime, Stop, Nada, Much, Slayer's Boxer, C, Bisu, Savior, 16 of the most powerful StarCraft gamers in the world, LG, Intel Katrina, GOM TV, Star Invitational.
Welcome back to the GOM TV StarCraft Invitational. This is Nick Case's plot. Turned out to be an excellent event so far. The next game we're going to be having is going to be Hwasin versus Iris. I was just informed that Iris is actually changing his name officially to Berserker, and he's going to be using that in this tournament, so I'll probably be referring to him as Berserker. I hope you don't mind, but that's what I was just informed to do. So that's what we're going to be doing. The map is going to be Katrina, Terran versus Terran. Hwasin, a very strong player, excellent mechanical skills, known for his Terran versus Zerg, not as known for his Terran versus Protoss, for instance. Iris, an excellent player who just managed to slay Stork, and Iris is probably feeling pretty good about that. I still think Stork has a very strong chance of getting out of his group. But again, it's going to be a tough for everybody in this tournament. There's nobody here who's not good. There's nobody here who's not really favored to win. So it's turned out to be very exciting. This is Group C of the GOM TV StarCraft Invitational. Hwasin, let me pull up my stats here in front of me. His overall record versus Terran, 36-34 with a 51.4% win ratio. He's also the ace player on his team in Pro League matches. Now his record on Katrina, and this really matters, listen carefully, it's 0-7. He has never won a game on Katrina that actually mattered. That doesn't mean he can't win. Hwasin's very, very good, but clearly he's not comfortable on this map. Clearly he's gotten a lot of practice on it, but he just isn't quite, for whatever reason, maybe the structure of the map, maybe the opponents that he's played on it, he's just not quite that strong on it. Hwasin's record versus Berserker, also known as Iris, is 3-3, though, so they have an even record. So while the map doesn't favor Hwasin, their record right now, they're tied. Pulling up the Berserker's stats versus Terran, 40-22 with a 64.5% win ratio. That is better than Hwasin's. On paper, it just looks like Berserker is the favorite in between the two of these players. It's going to be tough for Hwasin to win this, but that doesn't mean that Hwasin can't win this. He's a very good player. He's very capable of overcoming these losses, and only time will tell. Terran versus Terran on Katrina. You know, this is a really interesting matchup, Terran versus Terran. It's one of the slower matchups, but a very, very difficult matchup to play. Very unforgiving. Terran, they lack mobility on the map, well, on any map, primarily because they're forced to get the mech units, because that's the healthy unit combination to get. Dropships play a crucial role too. It's a matchup that's a lot about positioning, a matchup that's very big on map control. There's a shot of Hwasin. He's a very, very strong player. Currently ranked 6th in the KESPA rankings. He's actually ranked above Iris, despite his low win ratio against the race Terran. He's probably going over in his mind right now, what do I need to do to come back and start winning on this map? Can I win a Terran versus Terran on Katrina before they throw this thing out? Because I don't think Katrina's going to be in the pro leagues or any pro matches for much longer, in all honesty. We're still waiting on Hwasin to get his keyboard settings on correctly. I see the tech guys working with him right now. Berserker's already ready. And look, he's still smiling from that previous game. Probably already warmed up. Again, both players have an even record against each other. which makes things a little bit harder, when you're trying to pick out who's the winner. So with that, I kind of have backed up and just taken Iris or Berserker stats as the way to go. Looking at some of the comments on the forums, here's someone who says, man, I thought Stork was totally owning early with the probe, harass, and an early goon and zealot attack, along with that gas steal. But Iris just did great. I absolutely agree. And again, here's somebody else who's saying, strong display by Iris. Didn't expect that. Iris now changing his name to Berserker. Very, very good player. He was actually nicknamed the Berserker Terran for his very, very aggressive style of play, not always helping him, sometimes hurting him because he overextends himself. But now has changed his name to Berserker. He's known, he's, a player like Berserker, he's not really that well known for his medic marine control. His Terran versus Protoss and his Terran versus Terran are really where his micro can shine. And he was in a slump after he failed to advance in the two big network individual leagues in 2007, the OSL and the MSL. But he just beat Stork, so he's not doing that bad. Hwasin is one of these players who's just got an excellent sense of timing and a unique style. As I said previously, he's the ace player on STX. And he's attracted, he's just picked up so much attention worldwide because of his incredible games against Zerg. Hopefully he'll be able to have an incredible game against this Terran. One player, I think, the player that Hwasin is probably the most weak against out of all the other pro gamers is Bisu. But other than that, I mean, I don't think he really has an Achilles heel player. Although I think his Achilles heel map is going to be Katrina with his 0-7 record on that. I'm interested in seeing what type of what type of openings these players will be doing. Again, if you're just now tuning in, this is the GOM TV StarCraft Invitational. Down in Seoul, Korea, one of the most important StarCraft events in history. 16 players, all Korean, the best StarCraft players of all time in history, have all been picked out to come down here and battle it out today in this incredibly important match. A lot of notoriety can be gained by winning this tournament. Looking at some more stuff on the forums, here's somebody who says, go Berserker, need the thread name changed, good decision on the change. And that's good to hear. I think we still have some time. Hwasin's finally joined the game. I have two monitors in front of me. One that shows me what the Korean feed is, which I guess is apparently the same feed as the international feed. And then I have one next to me that's inside the game. Terran versus Terran, a fun matchup. A lot of people say it's the most difficult and vexing matchup in the game StarCraft, mirror matchup for that matter at least. You have to have a lot of stamina, a lot of concentration, and a lot of patience when playing Terran versus Terran. You have to wait for the right moment to strike and do it with precision. I just want to say what's up to everybody at Team Liquid and everybody on the GOM TV forums. I hear the feedback's been really good. I really appreciate it, guys. Again, I am working with GOM to try to train some more casters at some point in time in the future here. I think that, I don't know, I just think this event's turned out to be really, really great. I'm really glad to see that the international community is paying attention to this. We've been getting hits from a lot of different places, which is really exciting. I guess I'm supposed to keep talking right now. I guess the game still isn't ready. What else can I tell you guys about? I was in the PC bong last night playing some StarCraft, and I broke the Windows keys off. And then I forgot to pop them back in, and then I went in before work today to check my email. And the guy who owns the place was like, "You're that guy who broke the Windows keys off the keyboard." And I was like, "Oh, crap, I'm so sorry." And it was kind of awkward. It was an awkward moment. But yeah. I can never use the Windows keys on a keyboard, man. In fact, almost all the pro StarCraft players you'll meet have the Windows keys popped off of their computer, and sometimes many other keys, simply because the StarCraft players use the control key so much, both the left control and the right control, usually using the right control key with the thumb, the left control key either with the pinky or with the bone that connects to the hand on the pinky. Just depends. Most of the time, Zerg players use that bone, the bone on their hand to push that, because Zerg players rarely ever move their hand too far over to the far right side of the keyboard. Protoss players are more likely to use the pinky on that left control key. They also use the shift key quite often. This is a game where many of these pros have over 300 APM. That's actions per minute. That's commands that have been given either through the keyboard or through the mouse. So, imaginably, their hands are moving quite fast, constantly dashing around the keyboard. Learning how to play StarCraft can many times be like learning how to play a musical instrument. It takes a lot of practice, and I'm talking about even beyond just the strategy and stuff like that. I mean, just even the manual dexterity of the game. It's a real skill in of itself, and it makes for the most difficult and challenging esport game of all time. It's vastly different than if you were to look at a game, for instance, like, I think it's actually about to start. Hold on. They're trying to communicate something to me, but now, actually, no, I'm sorry. We still have some more time. Oh, here we go. All right, cool. Welcome back. I was hoping that game was going to start soon. I don't know how long I can just ramble on like that. There's Hwasin. Brown Terran. At the top is Iris, the Berserker. Iris Berserker, whatever. You get it. You know the guy. Again, Hwasin has low stats on this map. It's going to be very tough for him to overcome this. 0-7 on this map. Lower win percentage against Terran than Iris has, although both players historically have an even record against it. Here's on the forum someone saying, go Berserker. Another person says, Iris is way more interesting in him than Berserker, which sounds nice. Sounds like something from Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there any reason why you changed the name? From what I know, he changed the name because he was nicknamed the Berserker Terran for his aggressive style of play, and I guess he just opted that he liked that name better than Iris, although I like both the names equally. And then somebody else says, dude, Iris sounds gay. I guess it's all preference. You want a really good name? Tasteless is a good StarCraft name. There's no special reason to change his ID. Some of his fans called him Berserker, and he just liked it, so he decided to change, says another person on the forum. Barracks being produced at the bottom right. I'll be coming in and out every once in a while, reading off some stuff from the forums. Golem has decided that's a good idea. Notice the different locations of the barracks. It looks like, well, as we can see, it's going to be a pretty simple game to start off with. One player is, they're both going to be going for gas early on, get the factory. Could be getting the starport, could be going double factory. It all just depends. Hwasin at the north. Iris at the far right. Marines being produced. They're going to have to make a few of those. There is, they only need enough to buy time to get the factory. Hold on just one second. Someone from the tech crew needs to do something. Sorry, I'm back. We had some sound problems. Factory now going up. Both players scouting around the map. Marines. Berserker being sent up. Hwasin moving that Marine to the back to kill off that scouting SCV. Meanwhile, 2 more Marines are moving up to the front of the base. Factory still producing. Uh-oh. He's building a bunker right there outside of Hwasin's base. Unbelievable. Now, at this point in time, Hwasin's going to have to use those SCVs to drive away this force, but he's not mining with those SCVs, which are put in behind just a little bit. Now he's decided it's safe to pull back, but the SCV might dash up here. He's going to use that to attack these other Marines. The SCV can deal a little bit of extra damage within that, and then hop back onto that bunker and continue to produce. The Brown Marine will win. Oh, excuse me. I was handed the wrong sheet of paper. Oh, man, he got it inside of the bunker. Looks like Hwasin, the brown Terran. I was told that Hwasin was actually the yellow player. Hwasin, the brown Terran, was handed, was just managed to put that bunker up there. He's going to have to pull the SCVs off that one blue mineral patch over there at the far right. Vulture Bike now being sent down, but encountering another Vulture Bike on the way. This is not good for Iris. He's in a very difficult position. Picking off a few of those SCVs. The positioning of the bunker is very crucial. They'll have to get a tank. That's the only thing he can do. The tank can outrange the bunker even without siege mode. And he might manage to get on. Oh, man. Vulture Bikes now taking out a few more SCVs, driving the workers away. Now all the way over to the resource location, which he could expand to down there. Upgrading what could be Vulture Mines. More SCVs going down now for Iris, the Berserker. At this point in time, oh man, this is so bad for Iris. This is going to be so difficult to recover. The tank is now out, chasing down these vultures, but the vultures have the speed. Looks like siege mode or mines are being upgraded over there. Either would be ideal in a situation like this. The vulture is on the move, still picking off SCVs. Note that you can use the patrol key to actually attack just slightly faster with a Vulture Bike. It allows the Vulture Bike to move while attacking, positioning the Vulture Bike behind the bunker, allowing the bunker to take a few extra hits. Meanwhile, something is on the way towards Iris's base. Iris has landed a hidden barracks up at the top right. This could be his only way to possibly counterattack that. The tank is now out, and the SUV will repair. This is a very bad position for the Berserker to be in right now. I can't even tell you, I can't even emphasize what a difficult position this is for the Berserker. Marines now on the move, but Hwasin immediately responds, picking off. He's going to attempt to surround these, but no, his micro is awful right now with those SCVs. Now he's finally managed to attack it, picking off now one more Marine, but there's 2 more left, and he's going to have to micro them to the best of his ability. Iris can keep pumping out Marines from that location. But again, losing your main does not help at all. It looks like he does not, either he does not have siege mode or he's not using it yet. Here come the siege tanks now, rushing in with a few SCVs to try to get in front of the siege tanks and do a little bit extra damage. He will manage to pick off this tank in siege mode, but I think the damage has been dealt already. Another siege tank dashes up here, sieging now, just out of range, dealing heavy damage to those yellow tanks of Berserker. I don't know if Hwasin is just not engaging this barracks up at the top right, or if he did not understand where those Marines came from. I assume the first because of his skill and notoriety in this sport, StarCraft. Berserker now sending his SCVs back, but he's far behind. Armory coming out, which means Goliaths and upgrades for the Terran. Second factory's already been made, though. And Starport now. So Hwasin has already got a second factory up and is now going to go to Starport, but he needs to not lose too many SCVs to these Marines. Hwasin playing very aggressively with these Marines, unlike we saw the Berserker do. Noting target fires only the Marines, that's all that really matters. For those of you that didn't know, you can actually make an SCV attack faster by spamming the right click on the unit that you're attacking. For some reason, the attack that the damage that the SCV does occurs faster than the animation of its attack itself. So I'm sure he was doing that when he was fighting off those Marines well. That's also a pretty good trick you can use if you ever get Zealot Rushes, Terran. You can just spam that. Siege tank set up in a very strategic position for Hwasin. Starports. That's going to be used for Wraiths. The fact that he's getting 2 of those right away. There would be no logical point in getting 2 starports for dropships just like that. More than likely, he'll upgrade 1, or get the add-on for 1 so we can upgrade Cloak. He will lose the barracks, though. Berserker will. And that's not good, because that will not allow him to make any more tanks in the future. He might have to send an SCV out there to repair that. But otherwise, it'll be very much a focus on Wraiths for the time being. Dropship being produced, I assume, since he got the... well, that would just be what I assume because of the add-on. Here we see the add-on over here. This will be used to upgrade Cloak for Wraiths. I do not see an academy yet for Hwasin. He'll be needing to get one of those if he wants to combat Cloaked Wraiths. I also don't see an engineering bay, which means that this whole game could turn upside down very soon. There's the dropship. Wraiths, however, in the location where the dropship will most likely fly through. Cloak now upgrading. Once he drops here, he will be aware that his opponent's getting Cloak, and it'll be a matter of time as to whether or not he can upgrade when he needs to upgrade. Fast enough tanks positioned in between these 2 locations, but this drop will prove to be absolutely useless for Hwasin. Really no point in doing this whatsoever. He could very easily lose this dropship as well, and if he loses this dropship, it would be bad because he'll lose 2 more Goliaths! Goliaths managed to escape. He'll probably have PTSD after the intensity of that battle. Tanks now moving up, trying to get better position, trying to get central control, trying to get that contained. More Wraiths being produced. And Hwasin is responding accordingly. Finally, Berserker's getting his second factory out. Hwasin definitely proving that he has a unit advantage. Also, note on the mini-map, Hwasin's expanding again. This could very well be one of Hwasin's first wins this game. Neither player can really engage the other when his tanks are sieged unless he gets dropships or something to, really deal with those the tanks in the siege mode. They just deal so much damage and have so much range. On top of that, they have splash damage. Excuse me. More Wraiths being pumped out. I certainly hope he's gotten the scanner by now, because I don't even think he has an... Actually, I'm not sure... Okay, he does have the scanner, but does he have enough Goliaths at this contain point? He could very easily just swoop in here with these Wraiths and take out a lot of... take out the contain. But Berserker has assumed that he actually has turrets already at that contain point, and is instead going into the place that would probably be the easiest for Hwasin to defend. But he is managing to pick up a few SCVs. It's going to be a game of micro. Can he outmaneuver the scanners and the Goliath? The Goliath is stuck back here. Ooh, and Hwasin spotted that Expo at the bottom left. Wraiths, great harassment units, but really not that... they're very weak. They're very, very fragile. Yet they use them very carefully. They're so delicate. All right, he's putting up the turret here. This turret will secure secure it from any further Wraith harassment. Tank taken out. And at this point, Hwasin seems to have a massive advantage. Now building towers outside of the Terran base of Berserker. Berserker edging forward just slightly, trying to pick up these two tanks. Perhaps if he can pick them up, he can get a few scouting units out to the far right. But it looks like Hwasin has... whoa, excuse me. He will not be able to get out of that area. Once again, he's being a bit sloppy with that barracks. He doesn't want to lose that. That'll slow down his factory production. Or at least his ability to get factories. Another expansion at the bottom right. Berserker in a terrible position now. Again, it's like chess. He just has control of the center of the board. Hwasin does. Now, he is managing to push out slowly, but is it going to be enough? Remember, Hwasin got so many factories early on that they're really it's going to be very difficult tank-wise for his opponent to catch up, for his opponent Berserker. And he may actually end up getting that barracks, too. That would be very bad, especially because he's already behind in this, using those raids to pick off a few tanks on the corner. It doesn't even look like Hwasin's aware of this right now. Those are the tanks that are in a very strong position. Nice micro by Berserker. He's doing a very, very good job of just edging forward ever so slowly. Now he's bringing out the SCVs, which will be used to get in front of the tanks to absorb most of the damage. Goliaths are there to cover that, though. That was a complete blunder, it looks like, by Berserker. The SCVs were not really able to actually get there and do damage to the tanks, but he has carved a hole into this right side, into the bottom low ground location. However, with Hwasin controlling that high ground area, it will be very difficult for the tanks. No, this is a really bad place to siege, I think. It looks like, they're barely out of range of each other. And Raid's going to come in here. Berserker might actually be able to dig his way out of this. But he's got to be very careful because his tanks are on low ground. Hwasin has a high ground advantage. And now a large group of units over here at the right. He's sieging up. But, man, he has a lot of tanks flying in here with the raids to distract the Goliaths. Losing quite a bit of raids. So, GG. Berserker has lost. Excellent game, though. Hwasin's first win in the Terran versus Terran on that map. Really impressive. I am just so impressed. By the way, apologies for getting the player name swapped. I was handed a sheet of paper that had the wrong info on it. But that's okay, because we have another game coming up here very soon. And stay tuned, guys.
Paranoid deep that is still from his own mom. Canal and corn, artist with a bomb. Strapped to my stomach, screaming. A lust that loves to drink, drunk driving.